The global business landscape has witnessed a paradigm shift towards sustainability and corporate responsibility as businesses recognize their role in addressing environmental, social, and governance concerns. Initiatives such as business responsibility sustainable reporting have gained prominence. In India, implementing BRSR through the Securities and Exchange Board of India and Ministry of Corporate Affairs represents a significant stride towards fostering transparency, accountability, and sustainable development. This webinar explores ESG along with the BRSB framework, structure, and reporting pattern, as describe its elements with operational challenges, and lastly, explore the future of BRSR in India. So do join us with the link provided in the flyer.
Well, thank you, Sharma sir, for introducing me to the participant. Now, hello, a very good morning to all the participants who take an initiative to join this webinar from their busy schedule. I welcome you all, and I'm very thankful to the management of RIA who believed in me and giving once again an opportunity to share my subject expertise. I wish today's topic of ESG with BRSR reporting format will definitely be very informative and interesting. Let me remind you all that the Business Responsibility and Sustainability Report, that is BRSR, is a framework introduced by SEBI to enhance the ESG, means environmental, social, and governance reporting among the Indian companies. It provides a standardized approach for disclosing sustainability initiative, promoting transparency, accountability, and alignment with the global best practices. The BRSR mandates reporting for the top 1,000 listed companies covering a wide range of ESG parameters, and it has been made now mandatory by SEBI. This initiative aims to embed sustainability into the core operation of Indian business, thereby enhancing the reputation, risk mitigation, and operational strategy. Now let us look what are the objective of this presentation. The first one is to provide a brief about the origin and definition and define the elements of ESG in context. The second is related to define the core principle of the business doing and relate it under the different setting. The third one is related to trace the milestones of the progresses and discuss the framework of the BRR and BRSR. The fourth one is related to explain about the reporting formats under the BRR and BRSR. The next one defines the criteria under BRSR as a professional ESG rating providers. And the last one is related to define the role and the last one is related to define the role of professionals and the embedded technology in BRSR and ERP reporting. Now let us see what are the factors influencing the ESG in India. The factors influencing ESG in India are multifaceted and can be broadly classified into four categories. The first one is related to the external factors. Global events such as environmental disaster and social issues that has underscored the impact of the business activities on the planet and the society, that leading to recognition to the significance of ESG factors since 20th century. The other is related to the trade agreement. Countries most likely from the European countries often include environmental and labor standard provision, encouraging Indian companies to adopt ESG practices. The other factor is related to the availability of the ESG rating agencies in India and the pivotal role of the industry's bodies like CII and actively promoting ESG principle and guiding companies in implementing the ESG practice, right? The other is related to other industrial association that has largely adopted the principle of ESG standard from the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal and the Global Reporting Framework that have a significant influence on the Indian business and investors. So these are some of the external factors, while now we will see what are the internal factors. The internal factors by large are growing environmental awareness about the climate change is increasingly recognized as a major threat to India. That's the first point. The other point is a growing climatic risk, largely related to air, water, and the noise pollution, and social concerns like poverty, inequality, and human rights issues are pressing challenges in India. And the other is the most important, the consumer and the investors are becoming more sensitive to these issues and are seeking companies that contribute positively to the society. Actually, these challenges are pushing companies to adopt environmental sustainable practice to mitigate risk and comply with the regulation, leading to public demand for companies to operate sustainable and address environmental issue. The other factors is related to the commercial, or one can say the corporate influencing to promote the ESG. One of the most important reason is related to the change in the board composition, audit process, and executive compensation that have encouraged company to enhance their governance standards. This is one of the most important part. The other is the growing interest of the domestic and international investors in ESG. Companies have pushed the Indian business to prioritize ESG factor for sustainable and socially responsible investment. The other is related largely with the growing interest of ESG factor when making investment decisions. This demand has driven the companies to improve ESG practice to attract investment. And the last one, we can say the upcoming ESG reporting strategies under the stakeholder capitalism approach have created value creation for the business using the ESG framework. Overall, if we see the unconventional threat from climatic change, environmental challenges, and the social awareness together have created the demand for integration of ESG factor into proactive business strategy. And the last factor, which we can say additional, is a government initiative. The government have launched several initiatives to promote ESG, such as the National Action Plan on the Climatic Change and the Green Energy Mission. This is one of the reasons. Other is related to the regulatory initiative made by Ministry of Corporate Affairs in collaboration, or Securities Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI, alone or in collaboration with MCA, that Ministry of Corporate Affairs, have taken several steps, several decisions, several guidelines to initiate ESG and recognize globally the all initiatives made by them. And last is related to the increasing media coverage of the environmental and the social issues keeps ESG principle in the eyes of the public. These factors together have created a strong and social momentum for ESG in India, which is still, not only social momentum, but also the business momentum. Both commercial momentum and social momentum has taken a very good initiative, which is still evolving but holds significant potential for shaping a more sustainable and responsible business scenario in India. Now let us discuss what is the meaning of ESG. In 1998, John Elkington identified a novel cluster of non-financial consideration that should factors into the company equity value, encompassing non-commercial aspect related to environmental, social, and governance. Subsequently, in 2006, ESG issues were officially introduced in the United Nations Principle for Responsible Investment, that is PRI reports, which include the Freshfield reports, and it says that who cares wins. This represents a pivotal momentum as it marked the first instance where ESG criteria were integrated into the financial assessment of the company. Other aspect is related to ESG comprises a comprehensive set of standards utilized by socially conscious investors. This is the most important one. Now, it entails evaluating a company performance in environmental stewardship, scrutinizing social interaction with the stakeholders, and assessing the effectiveness of the governance structure, including the leadership, executive compensation, audit practice, internal control, and shareholder rights. Now let us discuss what does the word environment means in ESG. The environment in ESG means conservation of natural world compared to the business activity, or environmental criteria considers how company perform as a stewards of nature. Environmental criteria here includes company strategy for natural resources conservation as their moral responsibility with the business operation. The criteria can also helps to evaluate environmental risks company might face and how the company managing coping with those risks. This is most important one. Environmental factors are primarily those that will arise in relation between the company's operation likely to be a production and external factor observed in the environment. Here if you see the Sustainable Development Goal of the United Nations, 13 and 15 SDG indicators are really a main indicators of environment in this regard, and then relateds are largely concerned with the clean water, then related to the SDG 7, 11, 12, 14, below the earth surface, above the earth surface, etc. So the main factors are of environment in ESG in relation to the SDG is goal 13 and goal 15, and others are interconnected, or you can say directly or indirectly related with them. Now let us see what the environment management contain in context to ESG. So these are the list I have prepared based on my experience, and that includes carbon emission, carbon credit and offset, greenhouse gas emission leading to net zero, water management, waste management leading to zero liquid discharge, calculation of the carbon and water footprint, disposal and recycling package, green and efficient logistics system, and hazardous, including the waste management, energy conservation, and above all, the circular economy. Actually, if you see at the end, and I'm going to discuss that BRSR, what does the BRSR includes in environment? It largely gives first emphasis to the calculation of the carbon footprint based on the scope 1 and scope 2. I am talking about the BRSR in relation to India, that is the Indian document that gives much emphasis to the carbon footprint, calculation of the carbon footprint based on scope 1 and scope 2. The second is related to the water footprints. The third is related to the energy footprint. And the fourth is giving more emphasis to the waste management in the lee of circular economy. So everything has been included. However, as regard related to the green and efficient logistics system is one of the part of a topic which emphasize more of green environment in this regard. Now let us see what does the word social means in ESG. The social factor to consider in sustainable investment includes a company's strength and weakness in dealing the social interaction within the company, welfare, capacity building, work management, human rights, etc. It also emphasizes the relationship. In particular, addresses how company manages its relation with its employee, customer, consumers, suppliers, financial stakeholder, the local communities in which it operates, and the broader political environment. Right? If we look in terms of Sustainable Development Goal of United Nations, the following, means the first one is SDG 1 is no poverty, the other is related to zero hunger, the third is related to the good health, fourth is related to the good quality education, gender, and then comes about the inequality and the peace and the love. Peace and justice, the peace and justice, these are all directly or indirectly are related to social factor in ESG, and that too has been defined in BRSR document, right, very nicely. Above all, if we see, the social factor are primarily those that arises in relation between a company and the people or within and outside of it. Now, we shall see in our Indian circumstances and whatever the country setup, right, ethos and whatever their cultural setting is there are mainly three types of approach which I have classified, and these approaches are some or the other ways are linked with the social framework in ESG. The first one is a welfare-based approach, which is related to the development as a public product along the lines of education and health services that must be supplied to all those being served by the state or any other entities. You can say such as a non-profit organization is also included. A belief that this supply would reduce the poverty and promote development on the other side. The second is a right-based approach of development that brings relationship to the human rights into consideration and implementation of development. Here an emphasis is placed on the obligation of the state to supply appropriate services and to strengthen the local population, transform into being a self-sufficient. That is their right, the human right, the fundamental right, you can say. And the third one is the latest one is the sustainability approach that makes self-sufficient concept regarding the influence of industrialization and modernization on the natural resources. Support for the sustainable development that grew, which relates to needs of the present and the future generation in a egalitarian manner and demands the environmental influence of the economic growth to be taken into consideration in the planning process. And one of the most interesting thing after January 2016 onwards, largely known as Sustainable Development Goal, SDGs, India has also adopted. In India, the Niti Aayog has well defined the 17 goals, 169 target, and 306 national indicators for our country. So I'll request you all to go to the Niti Aayog site and see all 169 targets and 306 national indicators. Now we shall discuss what are the elements of the social in ESG for the corporate responsible business. Actually, this model which I have prepared based on my experience. What I see the Western literature in relation to ESG, they more emphasize on the inside factory premises, that is the people who are inside the factory, while I have taken both the aspect and considered the element of social in ESG. Let us see what are the internal elements. The internal activities involved various stakeholders like owners, shareholders, governing bodies, suppliers, and clients, local and other concerned authorities, and internal departmental configuration as per the activities like production, logistic, marketing, sales, finance, safety, R&D, etc. And also with the type of employee category like core team, mid-level management, manager, superior, supervisor, worker, both skilled and unskilled. Here the social element that revolves around the employee welfare with the diversity and equity, labor practice orientation, and the training, grievance cell, women's safety, and other operational safety standards embedded with the human right aspect. But I move one step ahead from the very beginning. I do look inside also the production house and outside what are their responsibility to the community in relation to their production house wherever it is located. So the external activities involve the various stakeholders in the surrounding communities like the surrounding population within the 10 kilometers radial distance from the factory site covering, and this is one of the mandatory clause in environmental impact assessment where each production house, each production unit has to take care about the resident population within the 10 kilometers from their factory site. Both affected and the general population are likely to be covered and are synchronized for all development social activities engaged in initiative aimed to reducing poverty by showing ways of increasing livelihood, eliminating hunger, promoting good health and well-being, ensuring quality education, environmental protection, and striving for the gender equality. So many parameters. So the company under this corporate social responsibility immediately after 2013 and thereby by the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change introduced in 2018 the corporate environmental responsibility. So the production house, each unit has a greater responsibility internally as well as externally related to the social and environmental responsibilities. These social elements in ESG should be demand-based, largely mandatory, and rely upon the need assessment survey within the community or resident population. Now we shall see what does the word governance in ESG means in context to SDG. The G here is related to governance that refers to the structure process that are designed to ensure accountability, transparency, responsive information disclosure, rules, laws, stability, equality, and inclusiveness, empowerment, and broad-based participation. The G in ESG pertains to the governance factors are more likely to be based on the decision making from sovereign policymakers to distribute the rights and the responsibility among the different participants in corporate entity. In governance, we are also looking extra thing that is economic and finance. So now this is what a governance model say, but there are other things. This is an international concept of governance. What are the four pillars? Let us look one by one in brief. The first is the people. Definitely, when we talk about the governance, it is the people who are associated with what kind of people? Board of directors, top management, employees, stakeholders, investors, and even in the society, the community. Those are the people who can be considered the cornerstone of the corporate governance. They look each and every aspect. Another point comes is process, the framework for ethical conduct, code of conduct, how to do it, when to do it, who is responsible, risk management, compliance program, other resource planning, integration, ISO standardization, process house, right? All these, the framework that have that is been integrated with ethical conduct. You cannot do everything. There should be some ethics that is least environmentally affecting, doing good profit with the community and the governance, the leadership which is involved in it. The ethical conduct that comes as the governance part. The third is people, process, and now comes the performance. What are the KPIs indicators within the entity with the profit making commercial way and social way? Both way you have to see, and how we can improve by do external audit and an assurance and benchmarking, diversification, whistleblower. We have to look each and everything, cautioning that we are going on the right side. So we have to introduce measuring and monitoring continuous progress, right? This is a major point of an entity to be evaluated. And the last is purpose. For what purpose you are doing? Gaining profit, integrating ESG, working with CSR or CER, stakeholder capitalism, right? Your vision, mission, that should be very clear in document. I will tell you the corporate laws of the company, corporate policy of the company, environment policy of the company. So the purpose, each and every, no doubt, doing business is also what do you call policy, but how it should be done. So there are the 4 core pillars: people, purpose, performance, and purpose. 4P. You remember this in short. 4P, right? The next slide. Elements of governance for industries. Now, which are the elements, right? These are the working element, right? We'll see the first is the leadership. In governance pattern, if you look, who take the leadership to control the climatic action or the gas emission? That's one of the point. Maybe there could be the green fleet management, right? Any other part which takes and produce a good yield, such good result. The leadership quality, the leadership as an indicator is an important part of BRSR. Remember, it will come in the format and we will discuss in it. Now comes transparency. It should be equally transparent. No, earlier it was no industries clandestinely doing everything. Nobody knows how they are. Now they have put to end it. Whatever you do, there should be a process, a system where that is transparent to the regulatory authorities and even to the people, right? Concerned people or concerned group. Then comes the ethical conscious. Yes, ethics is also there. Ethics should also be there for each and every activity within the entity. This is all part of governance. Then accountability, whosoever there is, whether he is doing positive or negative, that accountability is also there, and he is accountable if the result does not hit a positive side, right? So that is also one of the major part. Then come responsive, whether we are quick responsive to any action or we are delaying it or we are not interested in it. This is also one of the part. Now, can influencing how your action thoughts are influencing to other community, that is other areas within the entity and outside the entity. That is very important, right? Now, other is regulatory rules by law, whether the activity is conducted as per rule or by laws, or you are making your own rules to earn the profit. No, this should not be there. So this is also one of the important factor. Now, then effectiveness in efficiency, producing, yielding good result. What is, you have taken a decision, but it has no effect. Nothing comes out. So effectiveness is also one of the important ingredient of elements of governance. And then comes equity and inclusive. Equity here is related to process, ensuring the process and program and impartial, fair, provide equal opportunity to all and every employee or among the communities. So that equity, inclusiveness, we have to judge while taking the elements of the governance. And the last is participation, where your participation is dormant, very active, or so and so in each and element, whether it is profit making or controlling climatic condition, or the demand from the community has come to participate and you are neglecting it. So these are all what you call 10 elements which are used while running an entity as a part of an element of a governance in the industries. Remember this. This is not, but some of these indicators are there in BRSR directly, while other are indirectly as in leadership indicators. Remember, so whatever I have assumed, I am very happy that all those things have taken care by BRSR reporting format for the ESG. Now, the question arises, who are the players in India who have taken real initiatives to make ESG or the governance patterns in industry to be in regulatory mechanism? Some laws are introduced, some mechanisms are introduced, some standards are introduced. So there are 4 bodies as per I have done the research. That Ministry of Corporate Affairs was the first one. The second is Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI. These two have taken a very nice initiative, right, in promoting ESG and BRSB. They have developed many regulatory mechanism, the standards, the manuals, the guidelines. These 2 organizations have developed. And these 2 organizations have been supported by 2 professional bodies, that is Institute of Company Secretary of India and Institute of Chartered Account. Company Secretary and Chartered Accountant are 2 bodies which deals with the fair and clear business operation, not only in France, but also how the business should be operated. So they all incorporated their viewpoint to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. So these are the 4 entities that made something very good in relation to ESG and BRSB. Not only the governance part, but it took the entire thing, right? Yeah, there is one more body, that is the National Foundation for Corporate Governance, one of the important body that do R&D, training, research, everything in relation, anything corporate regulatory mechanism has to be developed or guideline has to be developed. So they do a lot of things, and this is the main body of these 2 entities, which they give the feedback to them and then they develop the things. So these are the 5 entities that really helps in promoting ESG with BRSR framework. So my first part is okay. Can I have a drink of water? Please bear me for 30 seconds before I know. Now I'm coming to the crux of my presentation. I have told you, explained you ESG, the concept of ESG in very precise manner. I can take 3 days to explain you ESG. I have so much material, how the concept has started, how environment was introduced, how social was introduced. It's a very big, many theories, many things. But if I do these things, then the main thing is our component of ESG reporting. We know the concept, right? I've been explaining since 2018 onwards. I've taken 2 or 3 sessions, and each and every time I find people know ESG. So I took it very in precise manners. Now I'm concentrating on components of ESG reporting, right? And I told you earlier in my previous slide that SEBI and Ministry of Corporate Affairs have taken a lead in this regard. So please, we should thankful to these 2 organizations in India, and that too, not at the national level, but it is aligned to the global standard, the way the formats have been made, right? So slowly we will discuss this. What are the key components of ESG reporting that I have taken? The first thing, right? This is a very conventional one, that is the environment aligned to the planet, our Earth, related to the climatic change, right? And what are the resource efficiency, biodiversity, pollution, emission, environmental compliance, etc. So many things are there. But at conventional level, international level, they give few points that this, if it is environment, then this should be covered this much. If it is social, then human rights, civil practice, community engagement, this is external, customer relation is both internal and external, social impact is an external. So they gave a, what do you call, not only a fair guidelines at international level, because All these three components varies from country to country, authority to authority, right? So they gave us something, what do you call, outline of the component that should be incorporated in ESG reporting. So these outline, taking these consideration into outline, we in India, that is Bombay Stock Exchange, if you see this source, the linkage from where I have taken, they were the first to develop this ESG reporting key component structure based on the what do you call, ESG defined by Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI, and also BRSR reporting format. Now let us look. Environment. So BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange, right? They decided that when we will analyze the rating procedure or a listing of a company, we will see these factors, right, aligned to the earth, that's environment policy, environment impact, energy consumption, energy intensity, carbon, CSG emissions, right? Similarly, they will see the social aspect, full-time employee, monetary non-benefit, attrition, training, healthcare, human right violation, child labor, gender equality, etc. Right? They will see these things. And in terms of governance, they will see these components. These components, they have defined the BSE, and they are also very open if it can be modified. I'm going to write it because to me, I felt there are certain elements which are missed out in the social as well as in governance. Energy, it's okay, but it will be restructured. I'm going to write them. And even if you want, you can also correspond directly to the BSE. The linkage is here, and the address to whom we have to do. That email ID is there in the their report, this key component ESG reporting format. Now, we shall look, this portion is very important. What I told you is a milestone, right? Wait. Are you able to visualize my presentation, Prashant? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, visible.
Everybody is visible, no? Okay. My voice is audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir, it's audible.
Yeah, in case if get disconnected, again I have started over here. So there could be, please be patient if something get dislinked, right? Now we shall discuss, that is, what are the milestones of BRSR and ESG reporting. This is one of the major issues that we are going to cover, how we have progressed. Now, it is very difficult to benchmark the origin of ESG in India, but believe social responsibility investing, SRI, has been over 2 decades as per the record which I have seen on internet. So let us trace how Government of India and like SEBI and Ministry of Corporate Affairs started doing, developing manuals, guidelines. When did they start? The first one which they did is in 2009 by developing the National Voluntary Guideline on the Corporate Social Responsibility. That was the first guideline produced by Ministry of Corporate Affairs, right? And it was very leniently adopted in the industry. It is as per wish. Earlier, it was not very mandatory approach. So this was the first, that's the beginning of it. Then comes in 2011, the United Nations Human Rights Council unanimously endorsed the guiding principle of doing business and human rights, right? That was done at the international level, and this was adopted in India by making BRR, Business Responsible Reporting, in 2012, where it has been incorporated these principles of human rights, right? Guiding principle for the doing business, right? And it was made mandatory for 100 listed entities, later on in 2017 to 500, and later on in 2021 to 1,000 listed company. Now, these guidelines which BRR have pointed out become the base of doing anything related to ESG and BRSR reporting. I will coming all these 10 points. So these are guidelines covering nearly 150 pages, and I'm going to tell within 3 hours. Nearly there are 12 guidelines like that. It's very difficult. Then historic remarkable things happened. That in 2003, companies law introducing the corporate social responsibility. This is one of the major thing initiative that has been linked with the social aspect of ESG, right? It is in there in BRSR reporting format also. Then came this LODR. What is that? The Security Exchange, that SEBI give impetus to listing obligation and disclosure requirement of the company. This has become one of the important aspects that everybody listed company should follow certain rules and regulation in relation to the ESG and BRSR, right? Then comes SDG. As I have already told, I have discussed you that how SDG was linked with the ESG, and this have been adopted in 2016. It came and adopted in 2017 or 18. I don't remember the exact record, right? But it is there now. It is there in our ESG reporting, right? Then comes this NVG, National Voluntary Guidelines on Social, Environment and Economic Responsibility of Wind. Earlier, what I have told you, in 2009, it started with voluntary guidelines in relation to CSR. Now, those things have been again revised by MCA. And now this has become a base. All 9 principles, I remember, I am coming to that. This has become, if you don't know this base, you should stop working in ESG or BRSR. You have to cram it. You have to, anyhow, put in your mind all these 9 principles. I will be discussing all my entire presentation on these 9 principles only. Then comes National Guideline or Responsible Business Conduct, right? This was a guideline came introduced by MCA in 2019. It has certain which we will be covering in brief, right? Then comes SEBI's BRSR linking GRI to BRR with BRR in 2003. What is linking GRI standard? Means our whatever we have developed should be aligned globally. Means we are now at international level. So here what they have started this process in 2017 and first came out with a guideline. It's a very big, each and every variable. It is around 240 pages earlier. Now it is again a very big, because it has been revised in 2023. This I have discarded because it will take 1 day, 4 hour continuously to explain these variable by variable, which at present I don't want to do, because many of you participants might not know about the BRSR reporting format and the variables involved in it as an essential variable and as a leadership variable. So I have discarded this, but sooner or later I will take one presentation on this. SEBI's BRSR linking GRI standard, that we are going at international level and we are aligned with the global standards, right? Now, then comes balance framework for ESG disclosure, rating and investing. This was done a very, they put it lot of things, assumption and all that, and prepare a small guideline, right, in 2023. But they said that we will be preparing in description. So while I was preparing, I came to know about this document, that is a master of ERP. What is that? That is ESG rating provider. Now, like other companies, not any international companies are in market in our Indian market, that we are doing ESG rating as per our standard that we have developed. Now, you feel proud that we are also in the race. SEBI has introduced this master circulation for ESG rating providers. You can register as a rating agency of ESG, right? So what are those guidelines? So they Indian companies can also come into the market doing the ESG rating evaluation. This is one of the remarkable document which I'm going to take. Let us see what are the though I have told you what are the reporting framework. First, in 2011, it is related to this economic, social, and environment responsibility. Then I told you in 2017 onward, the SEBI people and other concerned ministries have started linking the BRR format with at an international level. That is with the GRI. GRI is one of the international company standards that is been recognized all over the world. So there are many, but we have selected GRI because it is compatible to our country's setting. And I will tell you some of the major highlights in it, right? Then in 2018, National Guideline on Responsible Business Conduct, their format came. Then came in 2020, Report on Committee of Business Responsibility. This is most important document which I am going to cover in brief today. Now, then comes SEBI's Annexure 1. Annexure 1 is a format of BRSR code, which I will be discussing today, right? This is one of Annexure 2. The Annexure 1 is around 140 pages. Annexure 2 is a guidance. It's a guiding manual that is how to fill Annexure 1. I have read this, but I will cover along with Annexure 1, that is the format of BRSR, right? Then comes this format. I told you GRI standard that was started in 2017 and later it was revised. Now it has become very big document. I cannot take all those variables and all those things, but I will tell you in 2023 it has come up with a revised version. And then this is what I was discussing, balance framework. They have just thought about it, and later on in 2024, the master environment, social and governance rating providers. These guidelines is very important. So today I will cover one, then comes this second, and the previous one which I told that it report. 3 reports in depth I will going to cover, but that too in brief. I cannot cover within 3 hours the entire thing. I will give you much idea so that you can understand and become a ESG and BRSR professional. Let us start. Now I told you the 9 core principles of social, environment, and economic responsibility for doing businesses. That was revised, and these are the 9 principles. One is related to ethics, transparency, and accountability. That business should be promoting ethical behavior and making clear commitments to begin a responsible business. Excuse me. The second is product life cycle, right? Everything should be eco-friendly production and responsible waste disposable, right? Third is employee well-being, both within the organization, that is related to the employees, non-discrimination workplace, fair remuneration, decent working condition, culture, etc. Then comes stakeholder engagement. Then what is this stakeholder engagement? Means identifying the stakeholder, having process of stakeholder engagement and addressing the stakeholder needs, whosoever come for the company, for the business, externally or internally. You have to take care. You cannot neglect them. They could be a supplier. They could be a, shareholders, anyone. So principally, you have to take care of all these things. Then fifth point is human rights, which I've told you. Human rights principles should be incorporated, that must avoid complicity and abuse, and have one cell, that is grievance redressal mechanism, where one can report their injustice to that cell. Then can environment. Principle 6 is related to environment, right? This I have told you, that environment by taking measures on emission, waste energy, natural resource usage, biodiversity protection, and environment offset. Seventh one is related to the policy advocacy. Again, it's a part of governance. You have to prepare a policy for controlling the climatic action or increase the production, making the process green. That green means it is doing least carbon emission. That is all. Many policies are there. Then come inclusive growth. Eighth one is related to the inclusive growth, that business should incorporate equitable development through their core business process strategy, as well as the corporate social responsibility. Not only internal growth, but also the external growth. Here it means. And the ninth one is a customer value. We should value to the customer. Now I tell you, if you don't remember these 9 core principles, you forget. You cannot be a ESG professional, you cannot be a BRSR professional, you cannot be ESG rating agency until and unless you must know these 9 principles very well. I'm giving you just 30 seconds to think, to classify these 9 principles according to ESG. Can you do that? Participant, I'm asking participant. Which element will be relating environment? Which element relating governance? Which element relating social? Could you identify? Just think how you can relate these things. Any responses coming? Prashant, Rajni? Classify all 9 principles
Not yet, sir.
according.
Not yet, sir. Responses are not yet coming.
Never mind. This is a very new thing. See, I'm telling you, when we talk about environment, right, then principle 2, principle 6, and principle 9 will come. Note it down. A formula of ESG for environment 269 means principle number 2, business should provide goods, services in the manner that is safe and sustainable. Principle number 6, business should respect and make efforts to protect and restore the environment. And principle number 9, business should engage with provide value to their consumer in a responsible manner. Make it, note it, all the participants, I'm telling you. The next formula is social, aligned to the people. Principle number 3, 5, and 8. Business should respect and promote the well-being of the employee, including those in the value chain. Principle number 5 says business should respect and promote human rights. And principle number 8 says business should promote inclusive growth and equitable development. The first one was 269, second one was social, 358. So you remember this way, then only you can remember. And then last comes the governance. Principle 1, principle 4, and principle 7 are taken in governance. Though governance is a major issue. Whatever you do, social action, the governance, it is an issue related to governance. Whatever you do to the environment, it is related to the governance. But principally, principle 1, principle 4, principle 7 is considered to be aligned with the profit and profit with responsibility. So I told you 9 principles, and then you classify these 9 principles in ESG format, right? Looking environment, social, and governance. I'm going very systematically. I'm first explained you all those 9 principles, then how to classify these 9 principles under ESG. Okay, got it? भाई हाँ ना बोलो, मैं इतनी देर से बोल रहा हूँ, कुछ तो रिस्पॉन्स आना चाहिए.
जी सर, बिल्कुल सर.
Yes sir, got it.
Physically present or mentally, because this is very interesting what I am telling, short and precise manner, so that the interest could be inculcated in the participant to become a ESG professional, either as a capacity builder or you as a rating agency. There are so many. Last day I will take all those things. Okay, moving to the next slide. Now, again, what I've told you earlier in my beginning of the presentation about the environment, social, and governance. I have classified 17 indicators. Earlier also I have put it. Now I have put it in a very best manner, and so that you can understand. Earlier you were confused. Now, in case of environment, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13 is a climatic condition, 14 life below waters and life on land. We took these 2 as a major element, and these are all dependent element. But this is also interdependence with the governance. You see, in governance, climatic action is coming. Life, this is also coming. Responsible consumption and production. That should be part of social in production house. So if you see thoroughly, I'm giving you, just see that these classifications are interdependence. It is not particularly only on environment. Some or the other way it is linked with the governance. Similarly, social, it is internal and external. Within the organization, we see welfare point of view, these indicators, and outside the organization, in the community, again, we see community welfare. And lastly, who will take the decision? Again, governance. So, I know, yeah. So you see how I have classified, and you should also remember these things. These are all basic principles. Apart from, you have first understand the 9th principle, then classify those 9 principles in 3 group of ESG, then classify all 17 SDG indicators into ESG. Until and unless you are not clear with these things, you cannot do anything with the principle. Now come to this next point, is see how I've related all 17 indicators with all core 9 principles. This is an illustrative given by this NGRB, National Guideline for Responsible Business Conduct. That is that they have developed it, and I'm giving you. But it will vary from entity to entity. If it is a chemical industry, then this combination will be changed. If it's electronic industries, this combination would be changed. So if it is the engineering industry, this combination will be changed, right? So this is developed by a national guideline on this. This is only an illustrative one to make you understand. But whenever you enter any industry for the evaluation, first you relate all these 9 principles in relation to SDG, in relation to the activities being conducted in the organization, in the entity or a company. So this is a basic thing you should know before you're going for the detailed BRSR reporting format. You can only fill the reporting format or help the company to fill the reporting format until and unless you people are well aware about these classification, this relationship of 9th principle with other standards. Those company people, no, they are very busy in doing the business responsibility. No, I got many queries. Sir, we don't know anything. You come and do it. They're putting all on thing, but it is not like that. You have to give responsibility to them while evaluating ESG. I am coming to that. But you should be master yourself regarding the subject matter on the principle, 9 principle, and 9th principle corresponding to SDG, corresponding to various other setting in business setting, how it is happening. See, a business case, this is again developed by these people only. And they say, I told you it varies from country, factory to factory or the entity to entity. Here, they didn't cost saving and productivity, but the profit is missing. They identify 6 principles of doing business. But this is not a very strict principle. Whenever you go into any entity, you have to identify 6 or 9 principles of which the entity is running, making profit, doing internal and external, business, as well as doing social welfare activity. So you identify 9 business activity, 8 business, whatever. This is just an illustrative one I am showing you. And then you relate with the principle, how it is relating. This is one of the most important part to understand BRSR format. Before filling up, you must be very clear about an entity which is relating ESG as well as taking consideration into 9 principle of doing business and the business factors, the business entity or business operations they are doing, they want to do, they are likely to achieve. This is one of the most important one. It is not only environment, social and all that. You must know the commercial activities. You must understand the commercial activities. Until and unless, you cannot give the rating to that organization. Got it? participant, yes or no? Please type. Prashant, just check.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
How many yes has come out of 32?
Around 3,
Sir,
4.
4,
sir,
5.
these principles are fixed.
Pardon?
So these 9 principles are fixed.
Yes, these 9 principles are based on the international business principle followed by the government of India and all over the country. This is a fixed.
Okay, sir.
If you see the guidelines, I will share all my links. Today, I'm not going to give you presentation, but I will give all links. You can download each and every guideline and read it.
And so the matrix which was in the previous slide, which was between the SDGs and the principles, they can overlap also.
Yeah. Very good question. Very good. I told you earlier, no? Earlier I told you, no? So this could be overlapping. In principle wise also it is overlapping. Take this point. Clean water air. Principle 2 it is covering. Principle 6 it is covering. And principle 8 it is covering. So principle wise also overlapping, and within the SDG goes it is also overlapping. We will see. Okay. Any other question? Please ask question. No one-way communication. Please ask question to me. Only one participant has asked me. I think it is very new topic to all other participants. Is it so?
Yes, sir. It is new.
No, it has become fashion. Oh, ESG, I know. And when people come to me, when I explain them, I don't want to become ESG professional. I'm damn sure
Yes, sir.
at the end of my presentation, how will I will do that exercise. Wait a minute. Let me complete the presentation. Right? We will move to the next
Okay,
topic.
sir. Okay.
Now, before we go to the format, you might be heard, listing me, BRR, Business Responsibility Report, BRSR. What is this? There is a lot of confusion, and I find there is a lot of confusion among those who have come to me and asked. There was first question, यार difference बताओ क्या है दोनों में? एक पहले BRR लेके आ गई गवर्नमेंट, बाद में BRSR लेके आ गई. So this is a comparison, and just go through it. I'm not going to explain you. Just go through it, principle wise, right? Introduction, aspect wise, or not principle wise. Introduction, when it was introduced among the company, how it was then, evaluation, how it has been from CSR to BRR, ESG performance. Here CSR was linkage, here ESG was there, who conducted it, framework, this framework was adopted, here it was revised and this framework was adopted. So the change has come from 2009 till date. And this is how from BRR to BRSR. If you see, there are 5 sections here, financial, but they are very loosely bonded. I am coming to that, whether you want to write or not, and mostly descriptive, not quantitative. Here there are 3 sections, but very strict, quantitative as well as qualitative, right? And see, there's a universal single format. Here there are 2 formats. One is light format, both quantitative and qualitative. One is comprehensive format. We will discuss comprehensive. That will cover light also. Here only 59 questions they have asked. Here 140 questions they have asked. 98 are mandatory and 48 are leadership. What is mandatory? Is essential indicator that you have to write it if you are adopting ESG. This is the difference. This is how we have evaluated and come across a change from BRR to BRSR. How many people knew about this? Please tell me on the chat box. How many people knew about this comparison, difference between BRR and BRSR? Tell me. How many knew about this? They might have heard, but do they have knew the difference, how it has been evaluated from BRR to BRSR? No response. I don't know before. Very good. One person said. Manish. This is very important topic. No, I tell you in the market, what is there. I know everything. most of the people are aligned to the international agency. This is specifically when Sharma sir told me, no, we should take it for our Indian context. So I have, though it is involved here, GRI standards have, everything has been taken into our BRSR. So internationally, globally, we are aligned. We are at the international now. This is the beginning. Just in May 2024, those guidelines have come. ESG guidelines were much earlier in 2021. So now this is being started. But I tell you, I am facing a problem. Wherever I go, people see me, oh, Indians are, abhi to kuch hua nahi hai India mein. They don't know actually. Even after my convincing that SEBI and MCA have done it, no, we want to do from international, it makes value. So that sort of false notions is there. I hope in near future, this BRSR developed by our governments or statutory body will gain momentum, and many of us will, and it all depend upon the industry, what they adopt, right? Let us look now the SEBI's BRR and BRSR reporting format. What was earlier and what was changed? This is the most important part. Next two part is very important. And how much is time remaining? How much is the time? 12 o'clock. Oh, we have only 1 hour. So we have to go very fast now. Pardon?
1.5 hours.
Okay, but we will keep a question answer session also, no? Right?
Okay.
The flexi time. You
Pardon?
go ahead. You please
Okay.
complete.
Now,
Don't worry
first
about-
we will, yeah. First we will take about the, this is what you call, wait a minute. Business responsibility reporting. Now, it has 3 types of reporting, right? Understand, it has 3 types of reporting. The first is entities may not prepare a separate report for the purpose of the guidelines, right? They take it very lightly. Why there is a change from BRR to BRSR? This is because of this. They may rely only on these 2 parts, A1 and A2. Sorry, here is a mistake, typing mistake. A1 tells about the basic business information data, basic detail about the company, economic and finance detail of the company, then basic business decision information. These are the 5 to 6 variables with which this is, the first report is concise. So what happened at that particular point? That all the companies started doing this thing. Oh, it's nice. Yeah, BRR. Just write this much and send it to the concern. And all these are qualitative, no quantification, except few on the basic detail, economic finance. There is some quantitative data, or rest are they decide themselves. So there is no uniformity among the companies reporting. The second type of company says that entity may furnish simple communication to their stakeholder with basic 9 principle, which I'm telling you, whatever they want to report. Now that this principle has come into the picture, now companies are realizing that we should report along with part A, the part B part. Each and every aspect is being described qualitatively using some quantitative part based on the principle 1, principle 2, principle 3, principle 4, and it is again a very leniently been done. Right? The third part comes in BRR is a company identifies certain basic parameters, that is from A, B, and now C. Business entity on the negative consequences. See how slowly things are progressing. Got it? And encouraging the business continues to improve its performance in area of business reporting. Right? Responsible, sorry. Now what happened? The third group identifies certain basic parameters from A, B, C, and prepare a very concise report. Now slowly things are changing. Earlier it was only done for part A, then come from part A, part B, and then the third type of reporting started is involving all these 3, part A, part C. But the major drawback is everybody defined their own way because it is a qualitative reporting with some very few indicators having a quantitative. So here you cannot compare one company with other company. You cannot rate it. This is a major difference. Only then you have to act according to the international company who are there. They will no. You report in our format. Then we can quantify you and give you ESG rating. So that was the problem. So each and every time industry has to rely upon the rating agencies format, and they have to write again as per the, well, this is what the Indian. But these are the pitfalls which realizes. Then came next, BRSR reporting framework, which is divided into 4 parts. The first part is general disclosure about the company, right? Important information about the company's structure, operation, business model, whatsoever. That is the qualitative as well as quantitative. Then comes management and process disclosure. That is mostly qualitative with some quantitative indicators in it. They have done very good. I'm coming each and every this framework point in detail. And then come principle wise. Now see, in BRR, the principle wise was there. Now here, something different is there. Here, principle wise performance disclosure with divided into 2 parts. One is the essential indicators and other is within the principle, what leadership indicators are there. What leadership has been taken for that essential indicator to control or to maximize or to minimize depending upon the nature of the indicator. So what a change has come. We will take one by one all these 4 not in detail, but make you people understand because it is very big. This principle, each principle cover 10 pages. So 90 pages are there in the format. 90 pages and top down screen is there, then buttons are there, lot of things are there that I will not cover, but I will give you an idea so that you can give an idea whenever as a being professional you go, you must know that these are the things are covered in BRSR reporting format. Okay, let us move one by one. General disclosure. What does the general disclosure covers? Let us see. Registered address of the company, address, email, PIN, SIN, PAN, everything, their financial turnover, capabilities, everything that is general disclosure. So here qualitative as well as quantitative data is there. Then comes details about the product and services which the company is giving, right? And they want detail about top 3 product or services which company giving at the domestic and international level. Very good. Here, I told you, if you remember, in governance part, the economy, another was finance. So both are covered over here. Then comes retail operation. Here, location of production house, where it is located. In district, pan-India, globally, you have to give how the market is being served internationally, domestically, right? Location of top 3 market of the contribution, right? The top 3 market you are grabbing domestically, that is within India, and top, internationally. So they are want details about that. That is the economy part. If you remember, I showed you the economy. So that economy and finance both are coming together. Whatever I have visualized, they have taken it. I don't know how they have taken it. That is a secondary thing. But my visualization was right. Then comes employee detail. In an organization, what sort of employee, permanent or other than permanent, according to workmanship, skilled, unskilled, semi-skilled, highly skilled, then who are in the board of directors, key management personnel, whether gender is there, matlab women is there in the board of directors, all these detail you have to give. Again, this is both qualitative and quantitative. And then comes about the company holding subsidiaries, associate companies, including joint venture. Is company is doing joint venture, lot of things, subsidiaries, holdings, share, everything you have to do. entity could be a supplier. So whosoever they are in connection with this parent company, you have to give detail of that. Continuing this, again, that comes a detail of corporate social responsibility. So far you have asked, in the previous slide you have seen the company, they are asking about the company's employees. Now they are asking about the initiative, about the CSR. If you remember, I will tell you something very good. The first part, oh sorry, yeah, registered address of the company. When a company opens, they get registered into registrar of a company. Now technology comes. Whatever detail is been filled in the registrar company, that should be highlighted here. That is the technology. So whatever annual report details are filled in a company, that should be highlighted in ESG. You cannot change that for this company registrar you are showing something else, and when it comes to ESG you are showing something else. That is the uniformity pattern. I will tell you all these things, variables in the technological section. Then transparency and disclosure. What sort of transparency they have to adopt? This is relation between the stakeholder groups, right? About the complaint, validating the grievance cells, about the 3 company high priority related to material issue, company approach to address it. Materials may be doing whatever raw material coming may be very harmful, affecting the environment. So these are the things. Now transparency and disclosure complaints, section A, it gives basically qualitative as well as some quantitative information, very detailed. I think it covers almost 20 to 22 pages regarding, if I tell you in a real format, if you show online format. But I have concise it into in 2 slides only. Now the second section B is about the management process disclosure. Policy and management process. Has the company policy been approved by board? Whatever the policy has been made, it's been up or down. This is yes or no answer. If no, then you have to give the explanation. Whether the company has translated the policy into procedures. Do the enlisted policy extend the company's value chain partner? Name the national and international code certification, whatever the company has acquired. You have to name it. Governance and leadership details. Director responsibility. Board responsibility. They ask each and everything. Now comes detail of NRGB, National Guideline for Responsible Business Conduct. They are asking about that. Yes or no? By whom? When? And if no, then you have to give the explanation. Then it becomes a qualitative. Why not you are doing it? Then comes last here is details about the stakeholder engagement. It is not that you do business and you don't disclose who are your suppliers, who are your shareholders, and you have to disclose each and everything. So this is how these informations are collected to give the rating of that particular organization, ESG rating. No, the more you disclose, more you get rating, right? Something like that principle. This section B was introduced, and it is also both qualitative as well as quantitative. Where there is yes or no 1 and 2, or where there is a description required, it has been asked to write in qualitative manner. Now the third, this is now important and everybody should take interest and should keep attention for this. Now it is very big. Each principle has nearly 20 pages. And to concise 20 pages in half a slide, I've taken one principle per slide. I was thinking, but that will become too many slides. So what I did is, first principle is related to ethical transparency and accountability. And now they want for the current and the previous financial year so that they can compare about these activity, whatever they have did. These are the percentage of training, then the meetings, then the fines and penalties, and then appeal if there is something there, complaints, disclosure to the board, all those details in relation to the ethical transparency. And who has done it? I told you, these are the essential indicators and these are the leadership indicator. Third and fourth, I am taking simultaneously to score to reduce the slides, right? So with essential indicator, you have to report the performance indicator in leadership. That is percentage coverage, everything in quantitative manner. And these are some of the variables, what percentage people have been fined, receive attention, everything, corrosive measure, how many people get justice, all those things is to be right in quantitative, right? Then comes principle 2, again for the current and the financial previous financial year. Why current and previous financial year? Is to compare the status, whether it is a progressive or deteriorative. This will help in analyzing by the rating agency for marking the scheme, marking the rating ESG scheme, right? So this is related to business provide good services in the manner that is sustainable and safe. All questions related to sustainability, conduct life cycle, top 3 brand which was conducted by life cycle, list the 3 product and services whose design incorporated social and environmental concern. See, very, very deeply they are asking now. Nobody can escape or give excuses in relation to this sustainability, sustainable and safe procedures adopted in the entity or a company for the production house, right? And then again a leadership quality, how much money has been incorporated, and protection policy, what was the policy, and slowly so many things are there. Just read it. I'm giving you just 10 to 15 minutes. I cannot cover each and every point in our discussion, that will kill the time. So it make you, I have done this classification and taken some point. There are many points in it. I have taken major point for principle 1 and principle 2. Let us move to another, principle 3. Similarly, principle 3 is related to the value change. How business is being conducted, who are the people, employees, right? And employees here, both type of employees, permanent, temporary, disabled, every workmanship, every type of inform, and what are they are getting it. Everything describe how much PF you are giving, gratuity, every detail of each and every employee is being asked, and what are the businesses provide percentage, who has taken decision, how many sexual harassment, working condition, health and safety, everything. You cannot escape. This is for the internal. Here, if you see, they have largely asked about the internal, whether there is a child labor, everything within the premises, within an entity they have asked. I'm coming. It will come also on CSR, right? External. So principle 3 is this, related to the value change, and then leadership points to be covered. Then principle 4, interact of the stakeholder. Details of all type of stakeholders and leadership engagement. Especially we take as stakeholders who are vulnerable and marginal in the community as well as in the business, who are very downtrodden. They wanted to know how society is changing from bottom to the top. So they inclusive all groups of population. Then come principle should respect and promote human rights. Right, very good. Human right violation within an organization, that is an essential indicator. And these are some of the points which they wanted to know. There are many more points, but I have highlighted in relation to the human rights within an organization, and the leadership qualities taken. How many, again, you have to write in percentage that these many people have been introduced the result of addressing human rights, that their complaints in the grievance cell have been addressed, solved, or pending, everything they want. Again, this is in relation to within an organization, both essential and leadership indicators for principle 5 and principle 4. Principle 6 किसके लिए होता है? Participants. Principle number 6, I given you some formula. Yeah, it is very clear mentioned in the environment. All activity related to environment. See, Even the environment impact assessment details for permissible limit. What is the permissible limit and how much you have fined during the monitoring period for each and every level. So the importance of environment impact assessment data is also there. Migration data, land detail, financial year. Again, it has been asked previous and current financial year. Climatic change, lot of information. I think this was the biggest one. It has around 30 modules in it that is to be filled online by the company. And company can only fill if they know each and every indicators in relation to ESG. And who has committed, who has taken responsibility, percentage of those who have taken the responsibility of recycling and everything, how much they have done it. That is the leadership indicator associated. But sooner or later, it will be club. What I have came to know, that leadership also will become an essential indicator, and it will be club with the essential indicators. So technology, about that innovative technology solution initiative taken to the various groups. Each and everything the company is doing in relation to the environment is being covered in principle number 6. BRSR reporting format is a very extensive. And if you don't know about these issues or the issues which I have discussed earlier in ESG, that is the elements of environment, elements of social, elements of governance, you cannot fill BRSR reporting format because you don't have idea. Similarly, it is here for the principle 7, engaging, influencing regulatory policies, and then principle 8, promote inclusive growth. They have quantified each and every principle, right, in relation to the essential as well as leadership indicator. Social impact assessment, negative or positive, R&R detail, everything, CSR detail, everything they are asking. Nothing is escaped so far. Maybe after some time they may revise and include more or delete. This is not coming or this has been vanished away, so they will delete. But I think I have read, I have done a lot of research on it, and I found very accurate, equivalent to our international agency. Even I felt that international agency doesn't have so much to declare except in environment section. But we are doing as much as we can. Some international agencies are doing very good at the governance level. So slowly, this has come in May 2024. It has just started all these things. This principle came in 2021, this document, but rating agency comes in 2024, right? Lastly, the business should engage, provide value for the consumer, and these are the indicators by turnover, privacy, advertisement. If you have any objection, then leadership indicator, what objection, yes and no. Everything is been covered. So many indicators. I think this covers, principle 9 covers 7 to 10 pages on the screen. And only ESG professional who know all these things of indicators related to 9 principle can fill it. These industry people can't, because they are in the process of in the production, earning profit, and they have their different setup. It is our job of professional like us to make them understand that these are the requirements. So what your industry is doing in context to this principle 1, principle 2 points. So you have a very wide scope. And until unless you don't know anything related to principle, anything related to the elements of ESG, you cannot do anything. You can't be a BRSR professional. Very descriptive one. Let's move to the next part. Now what happened? There are nearly 140 variables, more than that. This is my guess, because sub part is also there, but it may be around 250 or beyond 250 variables. Then how to identify the performance? If a rating agency came and they wanted to know about the performance, which are the essential indicators? They thought it very deeply. SEBI, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and other people thought it deeply. And we want to align globally, with GRI, SASB, lot of things. So what we should do, that has been taken into consideration. And there was a circular in May 10, 2021 by SEBI, and later it was revised as a master circular in July 11, 2023, and related circulars of listing obligation disclosure of 2015 and gazette notification as listed in June 14, 2023, gazette number 131. All these four things have been taken into consideration. It is already there in the website, and now they want key performance indicators. We want to know, if I am going in an organization as a rating agency, let me check first the keeper. वो तो सब हम करते रहेंगे, इतना सारा है, we will feel. Let us first concentrate on the key performance of an industry. So what happened? SEBI has classified 9 indicators. And what are they? You will be surprised. All the key indicators are covering 9 business principles, and covering ESG elements of environment, social, and governance. Let us come and see. First is relation to the greenhouse gas footprint, right? So here we are describing related to environment in ESG in greenhouse gas emission, having cross-reference to BRSR relates principle number 6. See, principle number 6 is related to environment. Got it? And which question they are asking? That is also given, is the 7th question in the BRSR format. Down that particular 7 question become a key KPI indicators. Right? So how to do that too they have given up. How to calculate data assurance and approach, how to measure, what things are to be measured. Clearly they have defined it. And the same is there in BRSR. So when we are talking about greenhouse gas, please show the record this way. BRSR में बहुत detailed record है. I cannot show you everything, but this is how they have considered it. And later you have to club it to find out the actual performance of greenhouse gas impact related to scope 1 and scope 2. Anyone can tell me why scope 3 was not taken? In greenhouse gas, there are 3 scopes. Sarma sir would be telling much more. He is an expert on it and has delivered many lectures on.
I think, Doctor,
yes,
they may consider it later. You see what is happening. Scope 3 is so wide that it cannot be generalized. It cannot be generalized. Why scope 1 and 2 can be generalized?
Can be quantified. Can be quantified. I tell you, I have read a report in which most of the country awarded scope 3. Day before yesterday, I read a report that scope 3 was largely awarded by many countries. They concentrate on scope 1 and 2. And whatever the people are writing in scope 3 is not very valid, the way it has been asked to do it. That is the main reason. So, one chap came me, hey, government ko kuch nahi aata, scope 3 to diya hi nahi hai. Arey, what is scope 3? Do you know what is scope 3? Do you know what is scope 1 and 2? No, sir. I know there are 3 scopes, but why it is not there, they don't know. So such type of professionals are coming to me and asking invalid discussion and all that. Then I have to convince them. These are the reasons why scope 3 is not there. Okay, thank you, sir. Then come water footprint. It is associated in principle 6 again. That is environment. Question 3 and 4. How to treat water, total water consumption intensity, water discharge, right? The unit is expressed, how to do it, how to calculate, everything is given. You don't have to rely on the international consultant. No, I will tell you how to do it. Now it is up to you. It is there. Our government has defined each and everything. Okay. Let us move. Energy footprint. Again, the same thing. Principle 6, question number 1. So whatever the KPI is been identified by a rating agency will be based on the cross-reference of these two BRSR reporting formats. Principle number 6, question number 1. Principle number 5, question like that. They will first check these elements. What is the performance? Okay, let us move further. Waste management. Principle number 6, question number 9. And it is largely relying upon the rule of e-waste management rule of 2016. And I have written amendment thereof. You know, one chap came me, hey, this is all nuisance. They are writing 2016. Menagan, you haven't read. Beyond that, it is written amendment thereof. So whatever rules and regulation, because it keep on changing. If you see Ministry of Environment website, they keep on putting OM, Gazette, everything, the changes. Many things have changed in plastic waste management 2016, right? 2018, 19, 20, 22, all these are come. So you have to write your response according to the latest rules and regulation. Now, similarly, again, principle 6, question 9. Earlier it was question 9. They have again elaborated it. Waste management. How? तो अभी तो ये प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं है. Which formula, what to do? It is clearly defined. Where to refer, what to do. Do not rely on only on the international. Now India has developed its own. Similarly, okay. So far I have told you elements of environment. So which are the elements? Let us move back. Tell me which are the elements. I have shown you greenhouse gas emission, then waste management, energy,
water.
So these are the elements which I have shown you in very earlier slide about there are 11 and then they club it and make it into 5 to 6 elements. Similarly, social enabling. What happened in social enabling? If you see enhancing employee well-being and safety, enabling gender diversity and business. I would like to thank you. Taking these two attributes, think something is missing. Tell me. Let me take by that time. I can drink of water. क्या मिस हो रहा है इसमें? You remember my slide? दो goal, social element, internal.
Doc, I have a suggestion. Doctor, I have a suggestion. The people are sitting almost for 2 hours. You can give them a 5 minutes break, which is called bio break.
Okay.
If they want, we can give them
you
a
can
5
ping me and tell me.
Sir, my suggestion is that let's have a break for 5 to 7 minutes and be back here by 12:35.
Okay.
12:35.
Okay. Yeah. Please have a break.
Dr. Saab, Dr. Sinha. Dr. Sinha. He has also gone for bio break. See, those who are listening to me, I want to emphasize on one thing, You have seen in these slides the kind of issues that we need to address. And you will agree with me that all these issues are related to your business performance. Now, business performance means if you improve upon the performance, your bottom line improves. So, addressing BRSR or ESG, it is amply proved all over the world that it is a business case. And I think India, as it is growing fast now, the days are not far when everybody, whoever is small or large or medium, will start addressing these issues because it makes sense, business sense. It improves the profitability. You see, I come from a very large business house. And all these issues which we are discussing, in that house, we started way back in 80s and 90s. For example, your energy. In 90s, I was sending a report every month how much money has gone through the chimneys, by not conserving energy. And the company then over next 5 years spent more than 900 crores to improve the energy efficiency. And believe me or not, my friends, every gigacalorie of energy which was saved per ton of product, it was improving the business performance to the extent of 200 crores per annum profit increase. So what I want to, in fact, in addition to whatever Sinha Saab is mentioning, this is a business case. And all consultants and the organizations who are attending this, ultimate aim is to improve business. Ultimate aim is to improve the satisfaction of stakeholders. So we must make sure that gradually we, move towards BRSR reporting and start addressing ESG in our business performance into day-to-day operations. I think Dr. Sinha has come back. Dr. Saab, I wanted to say something.
Yes, sir.
See this GRI. Now it's almost 10 years that GRI have introduced sector-specific guidelines.
Yeah.
As of now, BRSR is generic and the same format is applicable for every business. So I have a feeling that in the days to come, BRSR also would move towards specific sector reporting, sector-specific reporting.
Yeah,
So,
that they are working on that also, because
people like you who are in the field and who are having contact with the policy makers, let us start working in the direction of sector-specific BRSR reporting.
Yeah, because GRI is already doing, they have come out and we have done it. And I will tell you in this, I will tell you in the end, there is one guideline revised in 2023 by BRSR with GRI standard. I will tell you about these things. And they are coming up. There are many people working on it already, sir.
So one question from my side, sir. A very small question. Sir, who is authenticating these reports?
Who is speaking?
Sir, myself, Krishna Chandra Panda.
Panda साहब, इसी Panda, I think ये जाना पहचाना सा है. कहाँ से हो यार?
सर मैं कह रहा सर ये रिपोर्ट्स को ऑथेंटिकेट कौन करता है सर?
हाँ अभी आता हूँ. I am coming to that.
Yeah, I think it is necessary to get it.
नहीं, बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. एंड ये जो प्रश्न उन्होंने किया है पांडा साहब ने, He authenticate. I tell you my experience. Way back in mid 90s or early 20s, early 2000. At that time, I was working with Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. And at that time, a representative from CRISIL has come up. And that lady has given the presentation very nicely. I like that concept, rating. And immediately one of the senior professors have told who has authorized you, why we should follow your rating system. And the lady was really couldn't answer anything, because at that particular time there was nothing like that who can validate their performance. Now I tell you, government has done something. It will come in my presentation. But your question is very valid. Very good. Very good. I like it. It will come. There is a licensing procedure also. Now, next, anyone? Any questions? Should I continue? Sharma sir?
No.
Should I continue?
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Continue, please.
I think we can start.
Okay.
Right.
Now,
we come back to the guiding governance.
So we are carrying a guiding governance for the social. The first attribute is enabling inclusive development, that we are looking fairness in engaging customers and supply. And third is attributes openness of the business. Principle 1 of question 9, and here principle 8 of question 4, principle 8 of question 5, principle 9 of question 7, principle 1 of question 8. So I have given you some formula in the beginning. Did you remember that formula?
Yeah.
About ESG classification of the principle. The social comes, principle 3, 5 and 8. Everything is covered.
Yes, sir.
And there is an overlapping also. But one thing is missing. What is that? What is missing? The external element. About the, what about CSR? I have shown you in the BRSR format the CSR record they take, but here they forget to include it. It is only about the internal elements. Internal, about the employee and then related fields, sales, distribution. Just tell me, where is external? External is missing out. What I found, small pitfall that can be included as an KPI if you are looking at only in the internal business terms, then that is not fair. When you are defining it in BRSB report format about CSR, so that should be also taken, which is missing from here.
But partially it will get involved in the inclusive
sooner, I don't say at present it is not there, but sooner or later they may involve. If they realize it, it is also, I don't know what the company policy or what they are thinking. I don't know, but I feel it is my own perception.
I think they may come back with them, because it's a dynamic process. A lot of improvement coming every day.
Now, sorry. Okay, this is only 2 things have been taken up, right? Now we will come to next is governance part. So in governance part, enabling inclusive development, fairness in engaging customer supplies. Principle 8, what is the governance formula was 147. 1, 8 is there and principle 1 is there. So there is a little bit overlapping. In KPI, they have selected something which is related to the governance. There are hundreds of variables related to governance, and it is very difficult to quantify the key performance indicator, right? So they have done good. The way they want to evaluate is the business, not the related aspect of it. customers and supply. Here they are talking about the inclusive development, right? About the wages per. But I think here CSR should also come. But I don't know what will the next is related to the openness of the business. How far, how open they are. These are the variables. Very good way. The 9 indicators they have defined it to know the KPIs, key performance indicators in relation to the business. What I am thinking, Sharma sir, कि यहाँ पर सिर्फ business point of view से देखा है, अभी external element इसमें भी नहीं है, governance में भी नहीं है. Though they are asking in BRSR report, but sooner or later, I think they will incorporate the social aspect.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we shall move now.
Yeah. Let's go.
बोलिए sir.
That's all right. Nothing from my side.
Okay. Now what you are talking, no, about the GRI standards sector-wise. Now earlier we have produced this. In 2017 they have started and come out in 2020 or 21 the final report. Now again it has been revised in 2022 by BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange. Here I think I have not read, it's a very big report. I need 4 full day, 4 hours to discuss only on this. Now we are at an international level. I tell you, I have gone through it and I could summarize in 3 points. There are certain variables which is new, which are in GRI report, but it is not in our BRSR report. So that was incorporated. One which is common to both, that is a variable which is present in GRI as well as in BRSR report. And one which is only in BRSR report. At international level, people don't think the way we think. There is a difference. It is not like that. It varies from country to country. Even if you go to different countries, they will also say, what we have, GRI people don't have. So this is a grouping of 3 things. Common, unique of GRI, and unique of country specific. Here I think something they have worked on the sector specific. Maybe
Doc, sorry to interrupt. My request is give little bit, briefing about GRI to the participants, because many of them may not be aware of GRI. This is a small request from my side.
The GRI is an international body of rating agency. Because I haven't covered all 12, I have a slide of it, but I haven't covered. GRI is an international agency. We do the rating performance indicator of ESG, and very well explained. This was the first, and it is listed in more than 7 this index, stock exchange index, and it is the most old one and very precise, very precise. If you open the GRI website, you will get lot of things to learn. But actually I tell you why we are not very much inclined with GRI. Though we have taken, there are several other agencies which are doing it. And if you allow me, sir, can I switch on to another presentation where this...
Yep, please, Doc, go ahead.
Yeah, just wait, sir.
Please go ahead, Doctor.
Yeah, I'm coming. Some or if you'd, because I haven't taken any international agency, because I want to confine to my country and promote my country concept. Though it's a good idea. I have I don't know. It will just a minute. Let me try once again. Or then I will. I have done so many presentations, no, for me to remember where I have. I've forgotten. Really, it was a good point, but there are 12 international agencies. I've also compiled.
Let's leave it focus on BRSR.
Okay, just I will try one and then I will leave it. But later I will give you, each and every one, I will give you. Yeah, this is the agencies.
Well, I analyzed by creating a comparative matrix of various global ESG framework, identifying 12 key players and analyzing their origin focus area within ESG industries registration and reporting system as of December 2020.
Okay. What I mean to say,
the analysis revealed that the historically environmental and
this is something. Let us close down, and because this is see, I tell you, there are 12 agencies internationally who are already working all over the world with their own concept. No, the concept is very common as per the guidelines of the United Nations, but they have developed their system. And among them, GRI is the top one, which has been recognized. TCFD, Task Force of Climate Related Disclosure, Global Reporting Initiative, established in 1997. Material topic, environment, social. Now they have included all these topics. Registration, we don't know, but it is largely registered. And they have their own reporting system. Similarly, all other are there. And there are 12 international. Now, what happens? Why this SEBI have introduced their own system? Because these people come and whatever they think is true is true. You have to do it, whether it is applicable to our country or not. This was a major reason why industry opposed and they want their own system. And that is why this, though we are at the international level, so we adopted something like GRI. It is the oldest one and it is very open and very descriptive also. Not equivalent to our Indian. If you had told me earlier, I would have prepared a better way. So anyhow, I can tell you that now we are promoting SEBI's rating system, SEBI's ESG system, whatever we think as per our country setting. Okay. Now this is a very important document which we are going to discuss today is related to SEBI's ERP ESG rating provider. Now many countries, many rating agencies are there representing those international rating agencies, GRI and everything. I know GRI since 2009, 2006. They were after me to become their representative in India. But somehow I felt like that whatever they think should be applied to India, it means India doesn't have any own perspective. Though they were paying handsomely, but I was not very convinced. So I didn't apply not only to say GRI. Many people have approached me going to my CV at the international forum. So they want me, no, you should adopt it. I have done nearly 100 online courses related to environment and social about World Bank, ADB, IMF. Each one is expressing their promotive view. And now I'm happy. I'm very happy that SEBI has come out. So I could adopt these things for my country. I cannot promote or market for IMF, World Bank, ADB for my country. Okay, so this has recently come. That is, it has come in probably 16 May 2024 by SEBI have introduced. I have just have a glance. I would have missed out this, but when I did a glance last month, oh, I got this. This is one of the very peculiar thing. Why this is peculiar thing? Because now we get an opportunity to be considered as a rating agency, and this is entire
guidelines has been divided into 5 parts. We will take in brief all the, it is very, very big document, very big, around 280 pages document. And I have to summarize in 5 to 6 slides. It's a very difficult one. I will be doing very fast. Rest you can, I will be providing links so that you can go through it and you can either develop your own organization as a rating agency or can join with someone else. The first one is related to the registration mechanism in the rating agency. When we do register as a rating agency, what norms have to be putting online registration, document both hard and soft copy we have to submit. We have to submit fee with GST. The two SEBI. SEBI have a portal. If you want to be ESG rating agency, there are certain criteria. Your background, you must have experience, your total turnover, nearly to 10 crore rupees. So all big players are there. Then approval for change. Once you are there, then if any change is to be made, then there are certain guidelines which has to be followed by SEBI as they instructed, and that change is in collaboration with NCLT case. What is this NCLT? Is a National Company Law Tribunal, which is universal all over the world. So whatever we develop are universal all over the world. SEBI is developing is also universal all over the world. Then if you want to transfer your business, then you have to do certain formalities as required, right? So they have explained, if you want to transfer your business from, suppose you are doing a marketing agency and now you want to convert into rating agency, then you have to do certain process of dealing. Change in control, original certificate of marketing should be surrendered, right? Like that, all these things are there. Then come suspension and cancel. If you as a rating agency doing a wrong thing, how your registration is being cancelled, that provisions is also there. They give period, then vote validity rating, voluntary surrender. You do it or they will dismiss you, right? So very good things. Whatever GRI standards or any other international rating agency have taken up, SEBI has also considered all these issues while developing rating agencies in India or while registering rating agency in India. The second part deals with the rating operations. Yeah, what type of rating operations are there? First is a type of scoring you have to do. ESG rating, transfer, parivartan score. These are very descriptive. Huh? I cannot explain you in 1 or 2 minutes. Then combined score, core of ESG rating, core transition or parivartan score. Which score has to be taken in rating agency or combined it? Several all clauses are given in the guidelines. Second is related to rating scale. Here rating scale has been considered from minimum 1 to maximum 100. Within that you have to do rating, very well defined. Either you can do 5-point rating, 5-point scale rating. What is this 5-point scale? And each scale is of 20 marks. So it becomes 100 scale. That is very poor, poor, fair, good, excellent. And each group is having 20 marks. That is called 5-point scale. Or 10-point scale, you have derived 10 and each group is having 10 scale. So this is the way it is depending upon the person or the rating agency, how. Now that particular clause is also there, which I'm going to discuss. Then other activity related to ESG rating providers. It is not only the rating, but what team you have, what is your capacity, everything they want in detail. Then only they will give you a license. Next is business model. There are 2 business model here they have discussed, and that is the subscriber pays and issuer pays. The subscriber pays is something we are borrowing money from the bank, right? And the issuer pay is related to the revenue we generated from the rating agencies, right? Both the model you have to describe, whatever loan you have taken and whatever profit you have made using the rating agencies. I think the sound is coming. Something. Okay, never mind. Now, then comes rating process. How will you do? You are the means each individual organization who is registered with SEBI will define how they are conducting rating. That is rating process. We have to define that. Then comes monitoring and review rating. So once you enter in an organization and start asking questions and start giving the points to them, is it okay? No. They say you form a committee. The committee members should be from the organization and from your organization, except the head of the organization, from both. That is to whom you are doing the company. The company MD cannot be in the committee. And similarly, the rating agency MD should not be in the committee. The committee should be a few members from the company and few members from the rating agency. Whether they will decide whether the rating is being done is a true. See, the company is very doing good at one particular aspect, but the rating agency feel no, this is not true. Then they have to justify that whatever rating you have given is not true. They will first request to revise it, because we are getting progress, we are getting monetary benefit, we are getting so that the rating agency may be biased. So there is also one provision of rating rational, means whatever you are doing is true or not. If you are not doing, then they will report to the company will report to the rating agency, SEBI, that the rating agency is not an efficient or not truly doing the things. So all sort of provisions have been made in the rating agency. Then provision applicable to ERP following an issuer pay business mode. Now pay business mode is something like that. The rating agency come, they are doing good things, but they are not getting the payment from the company. So that is provision is also there, that you should pay accordingly, not very high, not very low. If you pay very low, the rating agency will score low. If you pay high, then rating agency will give you high. No, that's not. There are certain guidelines to it. Then withdrawal of rating agency. The rating agency feels that the company is not cooperating with us. They are not giving the true picture. Then there is a provision to withdraw from the company. And that at that particular time, you have to do certain things with the SEBI and justify your point income, and that SEBI will ask the company why or not. If they feel right, they will immediately withdraw. Request by issuer a review. This is appeal, what I was telling. If the company feel that this rating provided is very less compared to our what we work, then they can appeal to the SEBI, right, against the ERP. This provision is also there. Then comes government norms for ERP. What are the government norms to be followed by the ERP agencies? That norms have been described, that you follow as per our Indian standards. Now what happened, it has happened earlier that the rating agency, though they register, but sometimes they overlap. They follow others standards, they follow others and overlap it. Now SEBI has made it very clear. No, we have defined certain clause and rules. Under that clause and rules you have to work, which is applicable to our Indian environment, Indian ethos, Indian culture. Very clear they have defined. Right. Next is accountability of rating. Now, Mr. Panda. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am here, sir.
Yeah, your point came. Accountability of rating. Now, government has appointed. See, when you prepare a BRSR report and company send to the SEBI, no, this is final. They will not accept, because there is a greenwashing done by the company, greenwashing done by the rating agency. What is this greenwashing? Exaggerated figure or a low figure. Anything could happen. So there are certain approved assessor appointed. I think that process has been started now by SEBI. All they are asking, I don't remember, but I came to know that process has been started. Whatever rating agency or the BRSR report submitted by the company will be validated first. Right? So here point you come that there are certain people who have been assigned as an assessor to look after this, very highly experienced people. They will see and see, oh, CH का ये जो अमाउंट दे रखा है ये बहुत हाई है, इतना ज्यादा कैसे कंट्रोल कर लिया? और कंपनीज करने they know they are mastering their subject, and that is why they have provided this accountability clause, not in ERP, but it is there in BRSB. I will come to that also. Dealing conflict of interest. Now this is one of the very good. Rating agency say this, company say this. Then how to deal conflict of interest? There is a process in which SEBI is also involved as an arbitrary body which says who is right and who is wrong. There are certain procedure in that. And then last is guideline case regarding the securities purview. Now, when the rating agency goes in an organization, it not only see the production and environment shows it, they also see the securities, shareholders, everything. If you do not provide the correct things to the rating agency, it cannot be done. And one thing is very sure, certain guidelines says, I think this will come in the next topic. So here we are ending the part 2 and we are moving now part 3, that is related to reporting and disclosures. There are two types of disclosure. First is a periodic disclosure. Then periodically you have to update all the information on your website. That is one thing. Annual disclosure, that our financial year end in March. So before 30 days, everything, your report should be ready. That is what they are looking. Average rating transaction rates is something based on let me check part 3. And part 3, I think average rating rate is basically oh my God, part 3. It is something related to rating transaction is they are calculating the average. I don't remember the formula and the type of formula. Sorry for that. Income disclosure. That is very essential when we do reporting, that income generated, that disclosure should be clearly defined in that periodic disclosure. Monthly income also. Then come a continuous disclosure. Now, to do the continuous disclosure, that is the best thing is a website. Here also a website, but it is on periodic basis. Here it is a monthly basis or whatever the norms they have decided. That is to be taken into consideration. That is to be disclosed on the website monthly or after every fortnight. Any delay will be punishable or some fine is there, that is there, and there is a periodic review by the agencies. Conflict of interest in the guidelines, I tell you earlier, here also while reporting, if there is a conflict of interest, there is certain clause led by the SEBIs which will tell you that rating agency should avoid the conflict of interest, and they as an arbitrary body will do the rest of the things. The shareholding pattern, this is one of the most important thing. If you are a shareholder, you cannot be allowed to be interviewed by the rating agency, and your pattern of shareholders should be clearly signified so that rating agency could give respective points or do the rating or that particular thing. Then compliance with the this is IOSCO. This is basically International Organization of Security Commission. Again, I'm telling you, whatever we do, we have to follow the international norm. So whatever you are doing compliance, that is equivalent to the National Organization of Security Commissions, right? And when we see, very common point, website disclosure, special guidelines they have given how one should do a website disclosure, what are format to be adopted, what are the archive, which information, and what footnote, what you should write in the footnote in the while doing the website disclosure. Very clearly, this is a special guidelines they have designed, because every organization, every company designing their way. So now they want the rating agency should do in a uniform pattern. So these guidelines are there. The next is, what are the internal audit mechanism?
The first is talking about the internal audit, that it to be done periodically, yearly, should be done by a professional, either CA or company secretary. Then, and that person should not be any black history or blacklisted, right? That you have to check. Then it covers about the all aspect of ERP operations and procedure. The person who is doing internal audit must know the entire ERP means ESG rating providers. He must know what they are doing. Then only he can do the audit on that. Then comes methodology adopted. What methodology they are adopting, right? Deficiency observed, consideration, response of the management deficiency. Everything they should write in methodology of audit. And then comes summary. They should, at the end, while writing an internal audit report, should summarize the adequacy of the system adopted by ERP, right? This is internal audit. So ERP company cannot do their manmani. Humne jo kar, no. There is an audit also. That is audit being done by the company as well as SEBI people. Then requirement of internal audit is the auditor eligibility. I told you, auditor rotation. He cannot be continued for years, but there are certain period. For 3 years, then there is a gap of 2 years, then you can again hire the same person. But you cannot hire the same person for the entire life. That is not there. That you should have hired a qualified person. Then audit scope. What are the scope to be audited? That he must know, and they have clearly defined. Reporting and action, right? What reporting and what action is to be taken if the things are not correct. And then there is the additional reporting, the additional remarks, what they have observed in the company, right? And this is part 4. And the part 5 deals with the other miscellaneous things related to designated official email, that there should be one email. There are so many emails, but one email should be designated that is to be linked with SEBI at the time of grievance cell, at the time of reporting, right? So both way. One email from the company that is to be registered at the SEBI, one email of the rating agency provider that is to be registered at the SEBI. Not many emails. And concerned person should be one. Then guideline for outsourcing. There are certain things in rating agency also, very descriptive. So, and a rating agency is a group of professionals. Something happened that rating agency is missing some profession. So he can outsource some of the services to a profession, not the core thing. This is one of the major guidelines they have given by the SEBI, right? Then comes your, and there are so many things that general guidelines, rating regulatory framework, key requirement, implemented scope, so many things, standardization of industry. This is one of the most important part. In EIA, we are doing, now we're doing ERP, that is ESG rating providers, follow market data advisory committee. This committee gives a code particular sectors of an industry. If it is a chemical, then particular code is being given that is been followed by all. So rating agency should follow these all other related things. Certain code has been well defined, and the rating agency as well as the company for whom rating is to be done should follow these uniform patterns. So it becomes easier for comparison in near future with one industry to other industry or one industrial group to other industrial group. Thank you. The next is firewall between. There should be somebody who keeps the controls. There should be. So the board approval is required, independency of the rating agency. This rating agency should be an independent body. It should not contain in team the members from the company. They should be a very, very nicely they have given. Disclose comes to leadership, and when we talk, we have already talked about the leadership indicators. So they have taken into consideration very sensitive issue. If a company says that we produce a product that is least bothered about environmental hazard, that is have no environmental hazard. So that claim, that is a leadership claim, that decision has been made. they are taking. So that has to be cross-checked very thoroughly. And other affiliation, whatever they have done it, that you have to give the report. So this is the miscellaneous requirement. Now I told you, just a minute, I have to take water. It's already 1:10. Oh. I told you, within a company or any rating agency or SEBI, they all require a technological input. What is this technological input? To maintain a database, there should be something, the database should be made in the organization very clear. Kitna sara data hoga? How many companies do we have in our country? Anybody? Registered company. I don't want unregistered. Any idea? It is more than 1 lakh. Big, small, medium, if we compare. And to maintain a database, it's not a joke. Similarly, if in your organization you don't have a space, memory space, then you can use the cloud-based solution. It's very important. Another important aspect is you want to do analysis and you are tied up doing so, you have to hire AI tools which will do your work automatically on daily, monthly, fortnightly basis using AI and machine learning. And lastly is related to the blockchain technology that will be used to enhance the transparency and traceability of ESG data. You might so crore of data there and you're lost. This technology will help you. Now, I told you what in the beginning, BRSR reporting fetches in near future will fetch data about registration from registration of industry. CSR data from CSR में yearly annual report भरते हैं, each and every company used to fill, so they will fetch data. So there is no escape for duplicate for manipulating of data. So this is the role of technology. Manipulating is now avoided. Lot of transparency. You know, sometimes it happened, and it is happening also. Companies show something here to CSR authorities, to industries authority different, and to SEBI authorities different. So that will amalgamate into a common platform using these technology. The importance of technology now you understand with BRSR reporting, with ERP reporting format, right? The technology importance. Now, everybody, सबके दिमाग में चल रहा होगा, इतना सब lecture दे दिया. What is the output, right? I tell you the scope. What are the scope? How you can make your career. Now, you can make a career in 4 ways, very clearly defined, based on my experience, based on my research, whatever I have done it, and the people to whom I am interacting. There are 4. One is a capacity building organization. People like me or a group of people like me will go in a company, will help them how to generate data or for BRSR reporting, or how to institutionalize ESG department in your company. That's our job. That's one job. It's a very big job. Another way, just now I've told you, you can become a rating agency or you can be a part of rating agency. In India, so far, SEBI has recognized CRISIL, ICAR, CARE, SMEAR, Fitch India, BRICBROC rating agency. 6 to 7 agencies have been identified by SEBI, and they are authorized to do ESG rating of the companies situated in India with Indian standard, Indian norms, ethos, our industry culture. So very good. We have started. Now, slowly, industry will shift from international agency to these agencies who are domestically doing globally work of ESG rating. So we are also coming. At present, we are 7. In near future, it may 15. And if you have an expertise, you can join these rating agencies. Third come a research agency, Morningstar, S&P,
You see, there are hundreds of research agencies apart from the government. They maintain database of investment. They maintain database of how environment intervention is been done by certain companies. What are they are controlling? They do their own way of research, collecting data, doing market survey. So research agencies is also one of the potential field. And Mr. Panda, what you are telling is come up as an auditor assessor. If you send your CV to the concerned ministry, MCA, or to the SEBI, you could be an assessor. Like Sharma sir have a very knowledgeable, highly knowledgeable. I consider him as a Bible of chemical. If he applies in SEBI to be an assessor in ESG rating provider or BRSR, so whatever report is coming from company for BRSR will be validated first year. Then it will go to the BSE index to be rated out and listed in the company. So these are one of the major thing where SEBI has taken initiative to be. And what are the profession involved? First thing is you have to be a certified professional. There are certain course you have to do or authorized course done by the government or an international agency. Like in process engineer, so far whatever company I go, they say, sir, we only know the process engineer, so we only know you ye dalne se ye nikalna hai. We don't know anything about related to the carbon emission and all that. Now people like expert in environment will go and teach them to change the process and reduce the carbon emission, reduce the water footprint. So this is also one of the great scope, especially people who have registered, who are doing EIA. They are very much fond of doing these things, and they are doing it because in TOR, for EC clearance in TOR, this point is very much highlighted to reduce carbon and water footprint of a company, and this has been taken very seriously. So this, all the process engineers, all the environmental engineer can make. Then comes social expert doing assessment. I have been doing since last 30 years, right? So for me, it is also there. Some courses are being run by MCA, right? Then come, I told you, in this ERP, ESG rating provider, you need a expert, financial and management expert. The financial expert will see, will evaluate it, give rating to an agency, a company about the financial activities and the financial gain or of the financial numeric, whatever they have gained. And the management expert who is there, they will explore the governance indicators for the rating agency. Then come logistic fleet management. What is this logistic fleet management? Is a green fleet management that whatever you do the business activity, either you bring the raw material, green raw material, or you sell out the raw material, your emission, carbon emission should be least. So green electric vehicle and a lot of things are there. How to maintain database, how to maintain the godam and right warehouse. So green logistic is one of the most important thing where you can make a career. Then come electronic data processing. Recently, just now I've told you in my previous slide about the data processing, right? Blockchain, data management, AI. So you could be an expert, electronic data processing expert, having all those 4 category, and you can link yourself with SEBI, BRSV, or any company to maintain their data. And lastly, people like me, knowledge bank and trainer, who do a lot of training, capacity building of an organization or individual. So these are the few what you call professional who are going to be involved or making future with ERP and BRSR reporting. Now there are 2 type of professionals, as you see. One is suited booted, a person who is highly qualified, well certified. He knows what to do. You know, many people used to come, sir, kahan kare? When I explain them, then seeing their CV and capability, and they get convinced also. So confidence is very much required. I know, I will ask the reaction, what you are going to become. And one is a person who knows everything, but he is confused where to go, either to go rating agency or work with the company or work as a freelance assistant. He is always confused. And at last what he will say, bahut bekar line hai, just leave it. Okay.
So I'm not leaving you. This is where I'm ending. And how much time we have?
Yeah, doctor, first of all, I would like to thank you for a very, exhaustive, rather, इसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं गागर में सागर भर दिया आपने. So thank you very much for this. And I think whatever time is left, that's not an issue because we are only at 1:15 हुआ है. As per our program, 15 minute का time अभी बाकी है, और that is also not really. We can continue if there are some questions. I would like to request Dr. Sinha to address those questions. So all of you can come back on the chat box, and I'll read out the question, and Dr. Sinha will be answering that question. Please, floor is yours, participants. Please ask whatever type of doubts, questions you have in your mind, because we know that this is, for many of you, this is probably first time you are getting exposed to BRSR. As I said in the beginning, BRSR has a future because it's purely a business case. In between also, I explained to you why it is a business case. So future belongs to the people who are going to address all the issues, environment, social, and governance issues. The companies who address all these three issues will be at the top. They will be leaders in the market. And I'm sure you would like to be part of those leadership companies who are addressing the BRSR. Over to you, friends. You can ask questions now.
Yeah, there is
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है सर, इसमें आपने कहा था कि जो जीआरआई गाइडलाइंस जो एनालॉगस है हमारी सेबी की गाइडलाइंस से, कुछ इसमें कॉमन है, जो कॉमन नहीं है वो स्लाइड्स नहीं आ पाई सर.
सर मैंने तो अभी किया ही नहीं है. एक मिनट सर, मैंने तो अभी जीआरआई का.
Dr. Sir, may I respond to this question? Dr. Sir?
Yeah.
May I respond to this question? See, GRI started in 1997. I must say that before GRI, there was very sporadic, kind of reporting systems. But international level, in 1997, GRI started. Later on, many companies, and as I agree with Dr. Sinha, says we are Indian, we have different systems, we have different culture. So the reporting system should be tailored to suit our culture, our way of working. But there is a catch here. If you are going to become an export company, which you should, then there are international companies who are asking your credentials in the format of GRI. So in India, you will find that there are all big houses who are in export. They are also preparing their GRI report. And in addition to that, as of now, I think, Dr. Saab, only 1,000 companies have been asked to submit BRSR report. Isn't it? So gradually this is increasing, and GRI also, I think not more than 300 companies are reporting GRI in GRI format. The first report came in 2000 when the GRI report was in the draft stage itself. And I think I was very lucky to be part of that first report in Tata Steel. So let me again come back. There is somebody who asked a question about why CSR has not been included here. CSR in itself is I think Manish asked this question. CSR itself is a very elaborate subject, involved subject. We have a separate module for CER and CSR, and which we will take up maybe next 1 or 2 months.
Next, in the month of August, I'm going to be the presenter for this, and I will share my 20-year experience related to CSR and CER. I have done a lot of work in this regard.
Just wait till August. Dr. Saab will deliver this CSR and CER.
And Panda ji, sir, एक point मैं कहना चाहता हूँ Panda sir को. Panda ji, this is the report which I have not covered in this presentation. I will share the link. And if you see, there are 3 aspects coming out. One, there are new indicators introduced by GRI in our system. One variable that is there in GRI and in our system also.
And there are some variables which is not in GRI, but it is there in our system. So it is very big document, around 500 pages. And to address this, I need 1 day. When I saw it, I was thinking to cover, but when I saw the voluminous document and the information it has, that I need a separate presentation for this. So that is why this has not come. Otherwise, I know everything about this. If in relation
to... there are questions coming on the chat box. I will read out and you respond to this. Which are the certification agencies for the professionals?
Yeah, the MCA is also conducting. BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange, is also conducting. Apart from this, World Bank, IMF, all industries are highly certified. And if you do this course, you are automatically authorized to do things. But there are certain licensing also. Licensing system for measuring carbon emission, for doing water footprint. There are certain specialized course to be done. And these courses are done in the market. If you can see, ECOA and many other things, you do the internet search, it will come. But the question arises whether SEBI approved that particular organization in our country or not. Because hundreds of people are coming. We have so much certification, we have this much certification, but in actual, this certification is valid with SEBI or not, that you have to check.
Next question is from Sandhya. She is saying certified professionals means who is issuing the certification? Certified professional? Obviously.
I am talking in terms, if you want to be a professional, then you must be having a certified course of that particular subject, right? So this is certified course, means here you are authorized to do that particular thing while doing BRSR reporting or while working in the ESG rating provider agencies, right?
I think the CII is also providing training. So you can next question
NESCOM is also there. NESCOM is also there. Tell me.
What is the mechanism to check if the companies are complying to BRSR? The mechanism is a guideline.
Abhi bola that BRSR report is submitted to the SEBI, and SEBI do the verification, hiring these auditors, assessor, regulatory bodies, whether the report is true or not. There is a mechanism, and then they will send to the stock exchange agency to rate this much is the point, and it is now to be listed. It is decided by SEBI. They have their own auditors.
Dr. Anil Kumar is asking, are there any penal provisions by regulators if the companies are not compliant? अरे भाई अभी तो शुरुआत करो पेनल की बात
भाई अभी 2 साल हुए हैं, and I'm telling you, I'm also facing a problem. Wherever they call me, they say, tell us about your experience. I tell them, this is my experience, and I will be working according to SEBI norms. यार हमने तो अभी तक सुना नहीं. Most of the company even doesn't know. This is a major problem in here. So,
Dr. Anil Kumar, there is no point in talking about penal penalties. What I'm trying to say, I mentioned to you, it's a business case. And if you are addressing these issues, there is a question of penalty. Government has made it not mandatory. Mandatory it is only for 1,000 companies as of now. Not
I am asking for that only 1,000 listed companies, sir. That is because in India it doesn't work without the penal provisions that way.
There is a provision. If they not fill the BRSR report in time, there is a penalty clause from the SEBI.
There is a penalty clause for those 1,000 companies.
Yeah.
Smriti Sharma is asking, please provide a report in GRI. You type out in the...
Hey, wait a minute. See,
Google
let me announce
thousands of GRI reports.
Several reports will come. What I think the participant is asking is in relation to India. Now, please, I want to make an announcement on Monday. Whenever I will receive email of all those participants, I will send you the links
of all the report today which I have discussed, all Indian reports, not international, whatever the reports I have discussed here. Wait a minute.
Yeah, this is available in the public domain. You can go.
This report and this, all 12 links will be given to you so that you can download it.
Rating agency के बारे में तो बताया ही है. Rating agency have to define
Rating
this.
agency has just started. May 2024 को अभी चालू हुआ है. So you have to make उसको मैच्योर तो होने दो, आने तो दो लोगों को. अभी 7 ही एजेंसी बनी है. Let us start. SEBI के authorized rating agency will do something, then definitely something will be coming.
See, somebody is asking if the companies are not applying for BRSR. It is just a beginning. It's a voluntary as of now for the companies other than those 1,000 which have been mandated by SEBI. Then Panda Saab is asking, are the reports in the public domain? Yes, they are.
Yes.
What is the role of ecology and biodiversity in BSR reporting? Ecology, biodiversity is a part of the life.
Yeah, it is there, but it is not taken as a KPI. But sooner or later, when it failed, it will be included. But BRSR report में ecology, biodiversity है. उसका एक small portion है अभी इस समय.
है भाई.
है.
So these are the some questions. If there are some more, please ask. Otherwise, once again, I would like to thank all of you for joining this webinar, and I want to thank the core of my heart, Dr. Sinha, who has really, गागर में सागर भर दिया है. अभी बच्चों इनके आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि उस सागर में से कितना निकालते हैं आप. Thank you very much. Dr. Sinha, would you like to conclude by saying something to the participants?
I am very thankful. Small is beautiful. Our group was very small. But I will I'm very thankful that every participant want to know some or the other thing about the BRSR and ESG reporting. So in this context, whether the number of participants were small, but very effective one. And I'm sure before I end, I want to ask a question among the participants, what profession you want to choose in relation to ESG. I have given you the list, what type of role you wanted to do. Please think on it. It's very lucrative if you associate with the rating agency or you become a professional to help an agency for capacity building, then you must master BRSR reporting.
It's a very lucrative profession, sir. Very lucrative profession.
No doubt. If you have a group of individuals professional, then you can form a company, you can do a lot of.
Yes, sir.
So, if there is no other questions,
there was last question. Can you please
provide one more question?
Okay. I will give you certification. MCA का भी है. So बहुत सारी कम agencies है. But the thing is, you have to first ask the SEBI people which certification you recognized. That is one of the. I have done 100 courses, but not all standard courses. But whether SEBI will recognize World Bank, whether SEBI will recognize IMF. See, this is the thing. But let us wait. This will come out. All the certification who are required. This will come out by SEBI one or the other day.
Just remain in touch with the SEBI website, and you will get a lot of information on the future development. Okay. So can I say thank you once again and close this session?
Thank you, sir. Very informative and very knowledgeable session for us.
Very excellent session, sir. Thank you.
बहुत अच्छा लगा सर.
Very much. Look forward to meeting you once again for other programs. As I said, in August we will have CSR and CER. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Dr. Sinha?
Yes, sir.
So, thank you, sir, once again.
No.
बड़ा अच्छा रहा. I think there were about 30 कैंडिडेट्स, हो सकता है एक दो लोग एक साथ बैठे हों, तो we'll discuss.
No, people haven't started thinking the importance of BRSR. SEBI, लोगों को मालूम ही नहीं है. It is me who's been tracing since 2015. So I could do so much presentation.
डॉक्टर साहब, होता ये है कि जब ये मैंडेटरी हो जाता है तब तो सब लोग करते ही हैं. वॉलंटरी करने वाले अभी हमारे देश में बहुत कम लोग हैं, बिकॉज अभी भी ये धारणा है लोगों के दिमाग में कि खर्चा जो पर्यावरण के ऊपर हो रहा है, सोसाइटी के ऊपर हो रहा है, इट इज अ ड्रेन ऑन माय प्रॉफिट. दैट misconception people still have, and I don't know. Let's see, this misconception will go sooner or later. It has to go, and as all of us agree, the future of the nation or future of the industry depends on how we address the ESG issues. Otherwise, very difficult, because the things have changed. जमाने चले गए साहब, जब लाला जी बोलते था मैं हूं ना, अभी नहीं चलता है वो. धर्मशाला बनवा दी, स्कूल बनवा दिए, वो नहीं चलता. अभी तो लोगों का दिमाग में है, वो बोलते हैं पहले मेरे को बताओ क्या करोगे, शो मी व्हाट यू हैव डन.
अभी मैं CSR करूंगा तो ये सब पॉइंट्स लूंगा, because for me it will be good days.
नहीं, ऐसा है कि अभी तक सिचुएशन वही चल रही है. केजरीवाल बोलते हैं हर आदमी को 700 लीटर पानी दूंगा, दिल्ली प्यासी मर रही है. तो कहने में कुछ करने में बहुत कुछ करना. सॉरी, कोई जर्नलिस्ट तो नहीं बैठा कोट कर देगा, पकड़ लेंगे. Okay, thank you very much. I think I'm closing it.
Okay.